Those are the screams coming from a black family in Leesburg, Georgia, after this white man decided to come to their family reunion party and shoot it up with an AR-15. Jeffrey Tyler Kinzer was arrested but only charged with assault after he brought an AR-15 to that black family's family reunion and decided to shoot it up for no reason. The family said that at first he showed up screaming racial slurs, calling people the N-word, and then he left. And when he came back, he was armed and carrying ammo all over him. But instead of being arrested and charged with attempted murder, he was charged with assault. A U.S. veteran who was there in the family did shoot back at him. But what do you think would have happened had he shot and killed this white man? This happened just 3 days ago. Did you hear about it? Are you paying attention to what is happening? These stories are not coincidences. These people are losing it.
I need you to sit with this for a second. On June 7th in Leesburg, Georgia, a black family was gathered in their front yard. A man drove by, leaned out the window, screamed racial slurs at them, didn't get the reaction he wanted, so he left, went home, put on body armor, grabbed an AR-15 and drove back. Jeffrey Tyler Kinzer opened fire on that family gathering. There were children there, and he's a firefighter at a Marine Corps base. And you know what he was charged with? 1 count of aggravated assault. And you know what his bond was? $5,000. The DA won't even return phone calls about whether or not this was a hate crime, which now, I need you to hold that thought and think about Carmelo Anthony, a black teenager who was defending himself, is sitting in prison right now. Right now, one man drives by, goes home, puts on body armor, grabs an AR-15, drives back, and shoots a family, and walks out on a $5,000 bond, and the black teenager who defended himself can't come home. This is not a broken system. A broken system fails by accident. This system is working exactly how it was designed to.
So this situation is getting real crazy because I saw this story a couple days ago, but I was so wrapped up in the Carmelo Anthony thing that I didn't get around to doing it. But this man, Jeffrey Kaiser, he harassed this black family down there in Leeds, Georgia, and he whirled by calling them racial slurs, went home, armed himself with an AR-15, put on some armor, and came back and opened fire on the family. Now, luckily for the family, they had some Marine veterans that was there that was strapped, and they opened fire back on this devil, and and they was able to knock him down. Now, he wasn't unalived, right? But they went through heck trying to get the DA of that county to prosecute this man, right? He was brought up on 1 charge of aggravated assault and was released on $5,000 bond. This thing is, listen, y'all, it's getting crazy out here. These people are coming out from their manholes. They coming out from under their rocks. These people are vicious people, right? But let's look at what the news is reporting, and we'll come right back. Let's look over here, right? Check this out.
A Lee County family is speaking out, recalling the terrifying moments when they say a man armed with an AR-style rifle opened fire on their family reunion. And thank you for joining us at 5 o'clock. I'm Greg Lloyd.
And I'm Carla Heat Sands.
Now, that shooting happened Sunday evening on Autumn Leaf Drive in Leesburg. The Lee County Sheriff's Office says Jeffrey Tyler Kinzer shot at partygoers after a verbal altercation occurred. No one in the family was reportedly injured, and Kinzer was shot after a family member returned fire.
He was charged with aggravated assault. WAOB News 10's Mariah Norman sits down with a witness who says their family was racially targeted.
This family says they were celebrating a birthday and spending time together before a man they identify as a neighbor pulled up and opened fire with an AR-style rifle. Witnesses say the family was gathered outside for a reunion Sunday night when a car drove by. A white man who witnesses say was Jeffrey Tyler Kinzer was inside the car yelling racial slurs at the group.
So, and he's talking junk and he started yelling the N-word. He kept going, so we let him go. And we were just discussing what just happened, why he tripping.
But Green says Kinzer came back, this time wearing armor and carrying a rifle.
And then that's when everybody started running. He got a gun. All the kids, they was making sure the kids get in the house. And people started taking positions because they seen he had a gun. And I was in the middle of the street. That's when he raised it and fired. Boom. And I grabbed my gun and started returning fire and moving with him.
Green says he's a Marine veteran. He says he was willing to defend his family, including children and older adults who were present.
It was so hurtful. I cried all night. I'm laying outside on the ground through a shootout under a car with my other auntie, my other sister, who is 77, and I'm 62.
The investigation is ongoing. Officials say more charges are expected to come. This family says they are just grateful to be alive. Reporting in Lee County, Mariah Norman, WALB, your hometown news source.
Now, this is crazy, right? And I'm glad that there was men there that was able to return fire and protect their family. They was able to protect their loved ones. Those men, shout out, salute to those men. They didn't duck down, they didn't cower, they didn't run with the women. You know, they stood strong and tall, right? And they made sure they knocked this man down. A lot of these people are emboldened now, and it's getting real crazy. So let's go over here. Let's read some of the story. Where it says from the Atlanta Black Star. W man hurls slurs at family reunion when they refuse to stop having fun. He returns with a gun, but they fire back. Right? Let me make it a little bit bigger so we can see it. Oh shoot! Hold on. Darn it! I didn't mean to do that. There we go. All right. So over here it says, what should have been a nice family celebration quickly turned into a nightmare for one South Georgia family. A man is accused of yelling racial slurs at them and shooting at them with an AR-15 rifle. His name is Jeffrey Kaiser, was arrested on Sunday. Lee County deputies reported he was charged with aggravated assault. He was released the next day on $5,000 bond, according to court records. Deputies were called to a home on Autumn Leaf Drive in Leesburg, Georgia, after they received reports of a shooting in progress, right? So you're going to see here, this is the guy, that's the family right there, right? And shout out to those black men that stood on business, man, right? Jeffrey Kaiser is accused of opening fire at a black group family reunion in Leesburg, Georgia. Keisha Wilson posted several videos on TikTok showing what happened before authorities arrived. She told the Atlanta Black Star her family had gathered to celebrate her grandmother's birthday. Imagine gathering with your family celebrating your grandmother's birthday at the end of a family reunion, only for someone to drive by yelling racial slurs, she said. He came by twice trying to provoke us. We were delusional. Carmelo Anthony's parents thought they'd get a fair trial, claimed they were set up and pushed. Wait a minute. Hold on. Imagine. So no, let me get out of that part because that it goes into Carmelo Anthony. That has nothing to do. He came by twice trying to provoke us. In the first video, a group of people is casually walking around until they hear gunshots. The chaotic scene shows people scrambling to get back inside the house as the sound of gunshots get closer. When he didn't get the reaction he wanted, he went home, put on body armor, armed himself with an AR-15, and returned to attack our family, Wilson wrote in the caption. Many people were shocked by the fear in Wilson's voice as she and her family ran for their lives. Then it says, this is terrifying. I'm so sorry this happened. Somebody wrote, Michelle D82 at it. We are not safe. People, please please be careful. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you experienced this Bunny D rope, right? So you have a lot of people writing stuff. The only person injured was the man who chose violence, Wilson said. Kai Kinzer was taken to the hospital before he was booked in Lee County Jail. Wilson said a member of her family returned fire, seeing Kinzer approach the home. Authorities said he admitted to being involved in the power. Investigators also recovered an AR-15 rifle and body armor from the scene. Investigators also determined that multiple firearms was used during the incident. There were also multiple damaged vehicles. Another video shared by Wilson shows a white SUV honking and driving slowly past the group as someone hangs out the window. Effing N-word, the individual yelled as the SUV drove away. There were roughly 20 children and older adults at the family gathering. Kinzer is not facing any child endangerment related charges. Wilson accused Kinzer of getting special treatment because his friends with the Lee County, he's friends with the Lee County District Attorney. An officer took him to the hospital, she told the Atlantic Star. When the first officer came out, my son asked, why is it only one officer? The officer told Wilson's son the response was small because in most cases the shooter leaves the scene before police arrive. What? Hey man, listen, they want to get the federal government back into this, man. Y'all, everybody was talking Trump like sending everything back to the state. Well, this is why we had to have federal protection, because of this kind of stuff that happens when you allow state law to not enforce federal law to protect us from these people, right? I guess they didn't believe us. I guess they didn't believe us to take our word for it, she said. Wilson added that Kinzer was free to leave the scene with the officer. Some members of the community accused Kinzer's wife, Jesselyn, of driving the car as Kinzer yelled the racial slur at the family. Dr. Julia Teller, a member of the community, accused Kinzer's wife of being racist. A racist nurse at Phoebe Memorial Hospital by the name of Jesselyn Kinzer and her racist husband, Jeffrey Kinzer, attempted to unalive children, Teller wrote on Facebook. Man, this thing is crazy, man. This thing is crazy, man. This thing. So somebody has said, we have seen online, people are saying that Kinzer was already out on a $5,000 bond. She said the investigators assured that he was still back there. Wilson said she has yet to confront investigators about the situation. Jail records confirmed that Kinzer was released on Tuesday. Why our kids? Why would you do such a hateful thing to a family because you don't like the color of their skin? We did nothing to him. We did nothing to you. So why would you attack us simply because our skin is darker than yours? Man, oh man. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Listen, this is where the federal government now has to come into play, because you black Democrats, you're going to have to show your power. Where your power? You're going to have to stand up and do something, right? You want black people to vote for you, but you got all this wild stuff happening. You can't just keep blaming everything on Trump. Y'all got to go get a win. Y'all got to go get a win. I don't want to hear the race talk and none of that. Go get a win. Take all this stuff that's going on and go get something done, or shut up and allow some new young people to come in here, man, and get the changes that's needed. Because we can clearly see the very things that y'all, it's taking y'all 1,000 years to do. This administration came and did it in a year, in 1 year, right? This family was almost taken out, man, by this guy, Jeffrey Kinzer, man. And it's going to happen all over the country. But y'all got to let me know what y'all think, man. What's your opinion on this? If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.